Namaskar viewers, hello and welcome to Sunset TV. I am Tina Jha, you're watching Perspective. From 2nd October, Gandhi Jayanti, the government is all set to launch the special campaign 5.0. This month-long initiative, running till the 31st of October, is much more than just a cleanliness drive. It is about Swachhata, efficiency and accountability in governance. Since its inception in 2021, this special campaign has transformed into a national movement, earning more than 3,200 crore rupees from scrap disposal, covering nearly 12 lakh sites across India and even Indian missions abroad, and weeding out and closing more than 137 lakh pending files. This year, the spotlight of the campaign is on tackling e-waste, from outdated computers and printers to digital boards, and also fast-tracking the disposal of pending public grievances, MPs' references, state government communications, inter-ministerial consultations and parliamentary assurances. So in the true spirit of Swachh Bharat and as a tribute to Mahatma Gandhi, Special Campaign 5.0 aims to not only clean our surroundings but also declutter our governance system, ensuring quicker responses, efficient record management and better citizen services.
आपने देखा होगा, जैसे ही कोई कहता है सरकारी दफ्तर, तो आपके मन में फाइलों के ढेर की तस्वीर बन जाती है। आपने फिल्मों में भी ऐसा ही कुछ देखा होगा। सरकारी दफ्तरों में इन फाइलों के ढेर पर कितने ही मजाक बनते रहते हैं, कितनी कहानियां लिखी जा चुकी है। बरसों बरस तक ये फाइलें ऑफिस में पड़े पड़े धूल से भर जाती थी, वहां गंदगी होने लगती थी। ऐसी दशकों पुरानी फाइलों और स्क्रैप को हटाने के लिए एक विशेष स्वच्छता अभियान चलाया गया। आपको ये जानकर खुशी होगी कि सरकारी विभागों में इस अभियान के अद्भुत परिणाम सामने आए हैं।
स्वच्छता मोदी जी ने न केवल इंस्टीट्यूशनलाइज किया, न केवल इसे जन आंदोलन बनाया, बल्कि हमारे जीवन में इसका एक हमारे रहन सहन के कल्चर में, हमारी संस्कृति का भी इसे हिस्सा बनाया। और हमें भी धीरे धीरे अनुभव होने लगा प्रतिवर्ष। पहले हमने फाइलों तक से शुरू किया, यहीं नॉर्थ ब्लॉक में 50-60 हज़ार फाइलें डिस्पोज ऑफ की गई। और इसी तरह से बहुत सारी स्पेस जब ऑक्यूपाइड थी, उसको जब वेकेट किया गया तो इतने हज़ार स्क्वायर फुट जगह अवेलेबल हो गई जहां बड़े बड़े मॉल बनाए जा सकते हैं, बड़ी बड़ी इमारतें बनाई जा सकती हैं। और बहुत सारे कार्यालयों ने इनका बड़ा सदुपयोग किया।
On the show today, we delve deeper into this nationwide campaign, trying to understand more about its vision, its targets, and why it matters to each one of us. And for this, I'm joined on the show today by a stellar panel. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome in the studio today Shri V. Srinivas, Secretary, Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances. So DARPG is also the nodal department for coordinating and steering the special campaign across the country. Mr. Srinivas, thank you for your time. Welcome to Sunset TV. Also joining us is Mr. Ratnesh Kumar Jha, Executive Director, Public Grievances, Railway Board. Mr. Jha, welcome to Sunset TV. Joining us virtually is Mr. Sujit Kumar, Member of Parliament. He represents the BJP in the Upper House of Parliament, the Rajya Sabha. Mr. Kumar, welcome to the program. Always a pleasure to have you with us on Sunset TV. So let's begin the conversation with Mr. Srinivas. Since its inception, sir, in 2021, the special campaign has resulted in a cumulative outcome of 3,220 crore revenue earned from scrap disposal, nearly 12 lakh sites covered under cleanliness drives across the country, also in overseas Indian missions, more than 137 lakh files weeded out or closed. This perhaps is the biggest takeaway from the last 4 editions of the special campaign. Now tell us about what's unique about the special campaign 5.0 compared to the previous 4 editions, of course, and how do you plan to build on the success that the last 4 years have seen?
The special campaign is oriented towards improving, institutionalizing Swachhata and reducing pendency in government.
Right.
It is the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister that seeks to have an office environment that is aesthetically pleasant and that is clutter-free, and also for ease of living and for ease of doing business. On the same lines, the campaign is oriented for reducing pendency in government across a range of 12 parameters. Now, the special campaign has a very critical element of Swachhata, which is oriented towards efficient management of spaces, enhancement of office premises. It's also oriented towards digitization, environmental friendly practices, inclusivity, and protocols and sanitation mechanisms in place, and also timely waste disposal. So this six-pronged approach towards Swachhata has been very institutionalized and is implemented this year in roughly about 20 lakh office spaces is what is the initial projections that will be taken up. This represents the largest ever campaign across Government of India in covering every ministry, department, attached, subordinate, autonomous offices, overseas missions and posts, as also public sector banks, public sector undertakings, and requires a significant amount of coordination as also oversight and monitoring. So extensive systems have been put in place to implement this campaign with nodal officers in every ministry and department, like Ministry of Railways, which contributes almost 40% of the total targets that are being achieved under the campaign, have a very strong team across India. The campaign over the years has spread across the length and breadth of the country, from Srinagar in the north to Thiruvananthapuram in the south, from Gandhinagar in the west to Itanagar in the east. Every office space across the nation of Government of India has been covered. Last year we had the privilege of having the northeastern states participating in the campaign, as also some of the union territories which came forward to participate in the campaign.
You know, earlier on, before recording the program, we spoke about continuity. This happens to be your 5th edition that you will be overseeing and coordinating as Secretary DARPG. How do you look back at the journey? And beyond the numbers, what for you particularly has been the biggest takeaway?
The campaign has been very comprehensively structured, and it has a very strong legal basis. It is rooted in the Central Secretariat Manual of Office Procedure with regard to the record retention schedules and timely weeding of records. Over the past 5 years, my learnings under the campaign have largely been with regard to the size, scale, and learning paradigms, and the number of innovations and best practices that have come out. The leadership has been provided by the Honorable Prime Minister through several tweets, as also mentions in Mann Ki Baat, and his own personal commitment to having Swachhata institutionalized in government offices. Further, the leadership has also been provided by the Honorable Council of Ministers, who participated and led the campaign in there across the ministries, and by Secretaries to Government of India, who supported the campaign in identifying pendency, as also ensuring that pendency levels come down. So in the Central Secretariat itself, there is a 2/3 reduction in pendency that we have observed across the last 5 campaigns. That's a huge amount of reduction in terms of MPs references that are pending, or in terms of public grievances that are pending, in terms of number of files for review or weeding out. There is a 2/3 reduction from where we started in 2021 to where we are commencing in 2025. So the efficiency levels have gone up, and also pendency levels have come down. One more point I wanted to state was that to institutionalize the campaign, every ministry and department has to contribute 3 hours per week for Swachhata related activities, and on a monthly basis the Department of Administrative Reforms coordinates this effort across ministries and departments and compiles a publication called Secretariat Reforms. Right. And as you can see, month on month there is a significant increase in the progress that is achieved, which has resulted in this huge amount of 3,200 plus crores being of revenue earned from scrap disposal, as also more than 1 crore and 30 lakh files that have been weeded out. So the Secretariat has become more and more digital, and we have had more aesthetically pleasant office spaces where several best practices have been seen.
Certainly. Let me go across to Mr. Kumar now. Mr. Kumar, as a parliamentarian, how do you see the special campaign initiative contributing to improving governance and citizen services? Mr. Srinivas has highlighted how over the last 4 years, now it's the 5th edition of this special campaign 5.0, there's a significant transformation in the way pendency of cases, the files work has reduced, and also in addressing the public grievances. But what is your perspective on the significance and the efficiency part of it?
I see this as yet another step in our journey towards Vikasit Bharat in 2047. And it's the national duty of every citizen of India to contribute towards this special campaign 5.0, as we call it. Recall when Sri Narendra Modi took over as the Prime Minister of the country, and in his address to the nation from the ramparts of the Red Fort, he had given the clarion call of Swachh Bharat. And also he had given the nation the slogan of minimum government, maximum governance. So what does it mean? It means, there are a lot of cases, lot of policy, lot of laws in the country which are outdated, which are actually harming the interest of the common citizen. So ease of living, ease of doing business were the mantra. And this special campaign, this special drive to weed out old files, outdated files, this is yet another step in that direction. And Swachh Bharat, when PM Modi spoke of building toilets, when he spoke of Swachh Bharat, the opposition parties and certain quarters, they laughed at him, saying, is it the duty, is it the responsibility, or is it the duty of the Prime Minister to talk of Swachhata from the ramparts of the Red Fort? But he did. And now you can see the impact of that after 11 years. When the Prime Minister himself is leading from the front, then the message goes down. Today we have 12 crore toilets, what the Prime Minister calls Ijjat Ghars. So these are not just physical, toilets or physical rooms, but these are actually meant to bring about dignity in the lives of our sisters and mothers.
Absolutely.
So I think this is a wonderful initiative. 3,000 odd crores of scrap value, 12,000 public sites having been cleaned. I recall on 25th of September, all of us got together for that Ek Ghanta Ek Saath Swachhta. It was such a wonderful mass movement. I can't even think of any other movement in the recent past that has generated so much of enthusiasm, so much of excitement amongst the general public as the Swachh Bharat campaign. So, I think when we are talking of celebrating Gandhi Jayanti in a couple of days, then I think there can be no bigger tribute to the father of the nation than adopting Swachhata, cleanliness. As he used to say, Swachhata is cleanliness is next to godliness. And I think PM Modi, being the great statesman that he is and being the great mass leader that he is, understood that this is one of the best ways to unite the nation. This is one of the best ways to get common citizens of the country to come forward to contribute in nation building through voluntary service, through small steps. When he speaks of the life mission, it's such a small concept, yet such a powerful message, yet such a powerful transformative initiative. Doing small steps in contributing your bit towards building a sustainable Bharat and of course
clearly, and towards enhancing credibility and building greater trust of the people in the government institutions. Absolutely. This campaign has also been focusing on liquidating pendency in MPs' references and parliamentary assurances. Mr. Kumar, how important, according to you, is this for building trust between the legislature, the executive and the people?
See, when we as members of parliament, one of our key roles is to ensure that the grievances of the public, general public, whether it's our constituents or generally, they are brought to light, they are brought to the attention of the executive, and we do our utmost in ensuring that they are resolved. And we do this through multiple platforms. We have the 0 hour, the question hour, the committee meetings, and oftentimes the executive makes assurances on the floor of the house or in committee meetings regarding these grievances. So we also have a parliamentary committee on government assurances, where any commitment or assurance made by the minister or by the executive is ensured to have been taken care of. So I think this special campaign 5.0, where the special drive is also to ensure that the parliamentary assurances or the public grievances are also resolved. These files, sometimes we see files related to grievances, files related to parliamentary assurances keep pending for years, if not decades. So I think the special campaign is a great step in ensuring that the common citizens of the country are empowered. Their grievances are resolved on a priority basis. Whatever, because see, at the end of the day, the parliament is the will of the people of India. We reflect the aspirations and the will of the people of India. And any assurance made on the floor of the house is so sacrosanct that the executive has to ensure that they are taken care of. So I think I must thank on behalf of the nation to our Honorable Prime Minister for giving leadership to the special campaign where the common citizens of the country feel empowered.
Okay, Mr. Jha, coming to you now for your perspective. Since the Indian Railways is one of the largest organizations under the government of India, we will definitely talk about the citizen-centric initiatives that both Mr. Srinivas and Mr. Kumar highlighted. But before that, share with us and our viewers how the Ministry of Railways, being one of the largest organizations, has contributed to the special campaign over the last 4 years since its inception in 2021, and especially in context of Swachhata efforts, scrap disposal across all 4 phases.
First of all, I would like to say that the entire objective of this campaign is to institutionalize the practices, the best practices which has been outlined by Secretary DARPG. In context of the Ministry of Railways, I would like to emphasize that when we began, we took very small little steps in the campaign. However, as we progressed on from 1.0 to 4.0, I am so happy to share with you all that it was an achievement which contributed almost 40% of the total Government of India achievements during the campaign phase. Just to give you an example, in Special Campaign 1.0, the number of cleanliness sites that we could manage was even less than 1,000. In 4.0, we had achieved more than 50,000. In terms of scrap disposal, as you have just mentioned, in Special Campaign 1.0, we did not touch even 20 crores of rupees. However, in the last campaign, we touched more than 450 crores. So what this is going to tell us is that the entire Ministry of Railways, which has a vast network, which has a vast field offices, a number of public sector undertakings, production units, so everybody was geared up with a network of nodal officers, sub-nodal officers, and there was a campaign within the railways to institutionalize the outcomes during the campaign itself. And because of that, today I can very proudly say that every railway man who is working, whether in Delhi, whether in Jammu, whether in Srinagar, whether in Kanyakumari, he is aware of his duties and he is aware of his contribution towards this campaign. Moving on, I can further give you certain examples. We used to have, some unused railway coaches lying here and there. The only way we could use them was scrap disposal. During the campaign, it came up that why can't we use them as an alternate to generate some aesthetics around the station, as well as maybe to earn something as well for the government.
Right.
So we converted a number of such old coaches into restaurant cars, which are now parked beautifully in front of major stations, and it is a public good that is being served through them. Similarly, single-use plastic we have completely done away with, and we have introduced two bins everywhere at the stations, at all the public places. Another important achievement that I can point out is mechanized cleaning. A lot of effort is taken for Swachhata all across the country. Railway is perhaps one of the most foremost ministry in that, and today the change is visible not only in the railway station, railway platforms, but even within the railway offices. So entirely the campaign itself has been able to change the mindset, institutionalize the campaign objectives, and bring real meaningful changes.
Just curious to know, because the Railways is such a big organization, how do you have an SOP that you follow to facilitate and effectively implement the objectives of the special campaign?
Certainly. Over the campaigns, we have evolved our own strategies, and at the highest level, we have been following the guidelines shown by Honorable Prime Minister. Then at the highest level, even in the Railway Board, Honorable Minister of Railways, Chairman of the Railway Board, we are conducting every week. There are targets which are being given internally during the campaign. And as you know, during the preliminary phase, when the targets are being tightened up, we are perhaps one of the ministries which draws its target right at the end of the first week of target week. So there is an institutional mechanism whereby every division, every zone have appointed a nodal officer. There is a SOP for cleanliness activities. There is a SOP for scrap disposal, and of course all other parameters of special campaign such as pending grievances, MP references, intergovernment references. So everything is being taken care of as per that.
Okay, before we move to the key focus areas of this year's campaign, a question on public grievances, which forms a key focus of the campaign consistently. How is the Railway Board preparing, or has, over the years prepared to fast-track grievance redressal and ensure that citizens experience a real improvement in the response timing? That's particularly important in case of a department like the Indian Railways.
Certainly. See, we are one of the ministries which has a lot of interface with public.
Yes.
On an average about 700 crore passengers are traveling per annum on Indian Railways as of now. So in such a scenario, whenever there is a grievance, it is very, very important not only to hear the grievance but also to redress it, because a passenger who is traveling in a train has a short time for his grievance to be redressed, and once he's reached his destination, he's taken the train to reach his destination. If the grievance is not redressed, it loses its redressal mechanism as well. So during the campaign, I'm happy to share with all of you that we have evolved something which is based on a total digital platform called Rail Madad. With the help of Rail Madad, we are able to redress the grievances of all our passengers, all our stakeholders, less than 30 minutes for each grievance. And the pendency at the end of the day is not any figure, it's almost nil. So by virtue of digitizing the entire gamut of public grievance redressal system and mechanism, today I can share with you that almost entirely all grievances are being directly dealt with by the stakeholders who are directly responsible for that service, and in a real meaningful time and in a qualitative manner. So it is a big boost that we have been able to achieve during the entire campaign.
Okay, coming now to the key focus area of Special Campaign 5.0, it's focusing strongly on e-waste. What specific strategies has the DARPG put in place to ensure that tackling e-waste is something that is handled in a time-bound manner, and adequate awareness levels are also enhanced at the same time?
What we have observed over the 5 campaigns has been that the electronic scrap volumes are significantly high in terms of outdated desktops, laptops, photocopiers, electronic equipment that needs replacement. So the weeding of electronic equipment is done by using the national e-waste guidelines. So in pursuance of this objective, we've had a close engagement with the Ministry of Environment and Forest, and capacity building programs for all nodal ministry officers in the ministries was undertaken in collaboration with the Ministry of Environment and Forest. A list of such e-waste procurement agencies was also identified and shared, and disposal practices with regard to e-waste have been identified. Further, the Department of School Education has come up with Vidyanjali, which is an initiative in which those laptops, desktops or electronic equipment which can be refurbished can be taken up and transferred, refurbished, and then handed over to several schools across India, that is the Navodaya Vidyalayas or the other school education institutions which they are monitoring. So the Vidyanjali initiative has been quite successful last year and year before last also, and this year a comprehensive e-waste guidelines have been put in place. Further, as Ratnesh ji has said, the campaign seeks to institutionalize the big practices. For example, last year Railways had introduced Rail Chaupal. We had Chairman Railway Board attending public grievances at the Ajmeri gate of the New Delhi railway station. Similar, that best practice is being replicated by Department of Posts through a Dak Chaupal, in which senior officials of Department of Posts would be redressing public grievances in a timely, effective and meaningful manner. It has also seen that the other aspects of which Railways brought to the table, mechanized cleaning. Mechanized cleaning has been a huge success area in that manual cleaning is completely eliminated. Right. So that best practice is being replicated in several institutions including hospitals. Then engagement with Safai Mitras. So this is another best practice that the railways brought that has been replicated and identified. In fact, Post brought one of the best practices of painting all post boxes across India, and I visited the parcel cafe that was created at the General Post Office in Kolkata, which was made from totally refurbished furniture. So waste to wealth practices are also being witnessed across the country, and also several best practices in terms of sanitation protocols, inclusivity measures, and Swachh ATMs have all been created. And enhancement of office spaces through creating several recreation rooms, gyms, libraries, cafeteria, and strengthening of record rooms by using compactors, also conservation and preservation of records. These are some of the best practices that we have witnessed over the past 5 years.
Given the scale of the campaign, it's now in its 5th year, but you've been at the helm. I am curious to know that given the scale of the campaign, you are actually covering every ministry, every department, every PSU, even the overseas missions. How are you monitoring the progress? Not just to ensure accountability, but to ensure meaningful outcomes?
The coordination of this campaign has the responsibility of the Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances. We do submit the progress reports every week to the Prime Minister's office and to the Cabinet Secretariat. There are nodal officers who are appointed, who are largely additional secretaries and joint secretaries to Government of India, very senior officials who have spearheaded the campaign in the ministries, and then field formations have all been mapped on the single dedicated portal for special campaigns. So this single dedicated portal monitors pendency. So in the period between 15th September to 30th September, the ministries and departments have been asked to identify pendency, and then they will be monitored against the prescribed targets. So best practices every week are disseminated through PIB statements, social media tweets, as also through other forms. Video films have been created, and several media coverage is provided to these initiatives. So replication, identification of best practices, these have been taken up. In fact, the best practices of the campaign are disseminated in the Sushasan Saptah that is celebrated from December 19th to 24th, when the Good Governance Week is done and the Good Governance Day is celebrated on 25th of December every year.
Okay, Mr. Kumar, we've spoken about the journey of the special campaign, its key objectives and the special features in its 5th edition. But what's remarkable here to also note is that it's seen significant progress over the last 5 years with consistent efforts. There has been improvement every year. As the people's representative and, as someone who's part of the Viksit Bharat, we want everyone, every stakeholder to work in this together. What would you suggest, or what would you expect the government to also include in the special campaign, perhaps in the future editions, in addition to cleanliness and the pendency and disposal of cases?
I think, first of all, I would like to compliment the Secretary, Mr. Srinivasan, and his entire team for initiating a host of activities. He gave us a holistic view of the campaign and how every department, ministry, government office has been involved, and also how they have taken adequate number of steps to this. Not only is this campaign going on well, but also how the department has really taken steps to disseminate the campaign across the country. I think that's a great initiative. So I must compliment him. And as I said in my initial remarks, the entire nation has to be taken along, and this is a truly people's movement. It can't be just the Department of Administrative Reforms initiating and leading this campaign. Right. Unless, if we take it to every Gram Panchayat, every village of the country, I think the campaign would not succeed. But given the success of the previous campaigns, and given the way our Honorable Prime Minister works, I have no doubt that this will be a massive success. And more than the MPs and the MLAs, I think the sarpanchas, the people's representatives at the panchayat level, at the village level, they are the ones who can bring about real change in the attitude, in the behavior of the citizens, and I think that would go a long way in making the campaign great success. And I would also urge every countryman to reduce the usage of paperwork. See, why do we need to have a special campaign to do away with obsolete files and to destroy so much of paperwork? To start with, if we all try to adopt digital means and to minimize, the printouts, minimize the usage of paper, I think that will be a huge step to minimize paperwork in our government offices.
Clearly,
So I
and that's an important aspect that I would want Mr. Jha to also respond. How has digitization been integrated under the special campaigns for the Ministry of Railways? And another aspect, when we talk about progress, it has to be sustainable. That's something that the Prime Minister has been quite vocal about. So what kind of environment-friendly initiatives are you also taking to ensure that that progress is sustainable and environment-friendly?
So far digitization is concerned, railway, I will say, is at the forefront of digitization in as compared to other ministries. As I have just mentioned, we have a grievance redressal which is completely digitized on the platform called Rail Madad. So that is for our external customers. Similarly, for our own internal customers, railway is one of the largest employer in the country. We already have a digital platform called HRMS, Human Resource Management System. So all our human resource management practices have been brought on to this digital platform. So the sanction of leave, the increments, pay slips, so all these things which were earlier involving lot of paper, lot of printing, has been done away with, and it's completely digital now. If you talk about environment friendly measures that we have taken, all our cleanliness campaign, all our cleanliness efforts are totally geared towards environment friendly practices which are sustainable in the long run as well. For example, we have started using non-chemical based cleaning agents. We have also banned single-use plastic on our premises. We have been harnessing various sources of energy which are renewable, such as solar panels on our platforms. In fact, railway is also, as I speak, currently experimenting with a hydrogen train. So it is again looking for alternate fuel. So these are all in the gamut of right from running train on alternate fuel to cleaning agents which are not chemically damaging, that we are incorporating environment friendly practices. E-office has been one of the key features of the entire campaign, and the data can itself suggest, when we started off with this campaign, we had physical files being weeded out in lakhs by our ministry, and if I may not be wrong, by millions if we put the government of India. Today in campaign 4.0 it had come down significantly, because now there are so many less physical files which are to be weeded out. So the entire shift is now on e-office and e-file. So that is again a very, very sustainable long standing practice that has been incorporated, and I'm sure that in this campaign the further reduction will be seen.
Clearly, so multiple efforts have been undertaken over the last 4 years to make progress on all of the, to achieve the objectives of the special campaign. But as we wrap up the conversation, Mr. Srinivas, how do you see these initiatives having improved or increased public confidence in the government institutions, at least since 2021, when you have, undertaken a multi-pronged approach to ensure not just cleanliness, but ensure efficiency in public governance?
Indeed. In fact, it is the inspiration provided by the Honorable Prime Minister. Even when we started in 2014, they were the first weeding exercise was carried out and lakhs of files were weeded out. As the Honorable Member of Parliament has said, it is one of the foundations for Viksit Bharat at 2047, that we have very strong office spaces which provide conducive work environment, and also there is high efficiency in governance for ease of doing business and also for ease of living. So not only have we weeded out obsolete record, but we have also conserved records of historical value which are displayed in an exhibition called Sushasan or Abhilekh. And this year's exhibition will be held from 10th of October, which will be launched by the Honorable Culture Minister. So there has been a focus and adoption and institutionalization of practices, and this represents one of the strongest foundations for increasing efficiency in decision making across all government offices, and I would urge every official to participate. As the Honourable Member of Parliament has said, the extension of the campaign to Gram Panchayats would be a new initiative. We will examine the feasibility of such an extension, as also the extensions have happened in the previous years. CAPFs were brought in, cantonment boards were brought in. So every year we have tried to scale up the campaign, and we started with about 6,000 offices. Last year we could achieve 12 lakh office spaces. So this year we are looking at an even larger campaign of 20 lakhs.
Clearly,
So
you're right. So
thank
the
you very
success
much.
of the past campaigns, what we've discussed also about with the three of you, that it has shown us that anything, it is that efficiency and accountability can become part of that growth journey towards our goal of making India a developed nation by 2047. And with special campaigns like the ones that the DRPG has been coordinating since 2021, this is the fifth edition of the special campaign. India takes another big step in that direction towards transforming itself and making itself a Viksit country, Viksit Bharat, in the next 20-25 years. With that, we'll have to wrap up the show. Thank you once again, gentlemen, for joining us on the program, sharing your thoughts and views with us and our viewers. To you viewers, thank you very much for your time as well.
संसद टीवी के और भी प्रोग्राम्स देखने के लिए सब्सक्राइब करें हमारा YouTube चैनल और हाँ, इन्हें लाइक और शेयर करना ना भूलें।